Okay, so this one is going to be a promotional video about a service or a payment gateway called Fondy. But not to worry, as you know, I did a few of those on my channel before, and those videos are always actual tutorials. So this one is going to be also, I'm going to show you how to use Fondy to receive payments from your WordPress sites in two ways. So just using regular pages and then using WooCommerce. But before we get into it, let me just tell you a little bit about Fondy. So Fondy is a payment gateway, kind of like Stripe or PayPal. It supports Visa, Visa Electron, MasterCard, and Maestro bank cards from any country in the world. And then if you're in EU or in Russia or Ukraine, then you can use online banking, PayPal, SCPA, Swift, partial payments, credit payments, and direct debit, right? So what makes this interesting for me, because as you know, I don't promote products that are not actually interesting to me, is because in Croatia, you only have access to PayPal. Stripe doesn't work here, and if you want to process your credit cards, then you have to use either PayPal or regional credit card processors, which can be pretty expensive. Right, so Fondy is actually, at least in the area where I live, it's a competitor to PayPal, and it's a bit cheaper than PayPal because PayPal takes 2.9% from your credit payments, and then depending on your country it's going to take some fixed percentage, but you can look at those pricing and see if this is something that works for you. Fondy for receiving payments currently works for any legal entities or private entrepreneurs registered in Ukraine, Russia, or in any UE country, right? So this is for receiving payments. But for sending payments to Fondy, you can be anywhere in the world as long as you are using Visa, Visa Electron, MasterCard, or Maestro bank cards. Okay, so let's first try to log into Fondy, because as you will see, you can click login or sign up. It doesn't even matter because you will always get to the test site unless you fill out all of your data, which you don't have to do right away. You can test Fondy out before that. When you fill out all the data, then probably their managers are going to contact you and you are going to sign a contract with them for a merchant account. For now, I'm just going to log in with Google. And as you can see, we're accessed their dashboard here on www.testfondy.eu. This is going to be kind of like your portal, your shop, right? So as you can see, we are not going to go through all of these. You can check those out for yourself. What I want to show you is how you can easily accept payments through Fondy on your WordPress site using two of the available methods. So first one is going to be this payment button, right? So you can click it. As you can see, a lot of people have already created those buttons and test them out. One of those is actually mine from yesterday. So I'm going to create a new button. Just click on the button generator and then you can create it and put it on your page in WordPress. So I'm going to go to, this is going to be my merchant ID, so payment button. Just my awesome payment button. I'm going to accept payments in euros and I'm going to it's going to be a purchasable. As you can see, you can set up recurring payments also. Or the description is just going to be okay. You can also add some custom fields and then you can generate that button. Right, so right now this is what your button will look like. I'm going to change that up a bit. Actually, I didn't add any value right here, so I'm just going to say 20 euros and then save the button. Right, so pay 20 euros. You can of course change the background of the button if you want. I'm going to put it to be just a little bit lighter of the color. I'm going to set the border to also be lighter, something like this. And that would be about it. Also, you can put Visa, MasterCard, Google Pay, and Apple Pay right here, right? And then you just get this source code. Okay, so right here I have just a vanilla WordPress site, nothing installed on it yet. So I'm just going to go to that site, go to the pages, and add my new product. So I'm just going to call it Very Good Product. Right, and this is going to have some lorem ipsum text right here. Okay, of course you can add a picture or whatever you want. So this is going to be our product. Now to sell that product we need to add something right here. So what I'm going to add is I'm going to add HTML block, right? And just paste this in. Actually not this, because this is lorem ipsum text, but we need to paste the code for our button, and that button is actually right here. Save this, paste this in. Okay, great. One thing you also need to check out is in optional parameters you can have URL callbacks, server callbacks, product ID, and so on. You need to check this expiry date. So if something doesn't work, I had that problem yesterday because it somehow just added an expiry date for yesterday. So if it doesn't work for some reason, just check if you have expiry date set right here. So I'm just going to set it to be 29th, because you can make that button be expirable. So if you have some products that you want to sell, but they can't be sold always, or you have a limited promotion of your products and something like that, this would be a very good option for that. So I'm just going to save this button again. And I think that's about it, right? So you can preview this button. As you can see it very nicely in WordPress. I'm going to publish this. And this is our site right now. As you will see, we don't have any menu. So I'm just going to go to WordPress, to Appearance Menus, call my menu to be Main Menu, create it, and add a Very Good Product to it. Add to menu, and let's add a home page also. Right, so we have a home, Very Good Product, and I'm going to say automatically add new top level pages to this menu, and also display location is going to be primary, at least for the 2019 theme in WordPress. This can vary depending on what theme you are using. So I'm just going to save this menu, and now if I go right here, refresh it, as you can see this is my menu, we have Very Good Product. If I click on it, so this is my product, and I can pay 20 euros for it. Okay, click pay. I'm going to the checkout. And now this is the way you can test Fondy. So you can pay with internet banking depending on the country you're in, right? It supports all of that. That's great. Or you can just pay with Visa or MasterCard. And then on this page, so Docs Fondy EU, Docs page number 2, you got test payment details. So you can take this card number right here. And as you can see, expiry date is any, CVV is any, 3D Secure is yes, and so on. So if you go right here, and you want to pay for it, actually test the payment, you can just paste this in. It's going to be valid through first month of 2020, and you can put just something like whatever right here. Okay, I agree with public offer. One thing to note here, check this out. So you have order amount, which you can change to 10 euros. Okay, so this doesn't seem very well, but I'm just going to explain that just in a second. So if we check out with 10 euros, we are going to pay 10 euros. Of course, this supports 3D secure operations. So what that means is when you're paying with your credit card, your bank may have this 3D secure option, so that you have actually two-factor authentication for your credit cards. Of course, some banks have this, some don't. So this is going to depend on the bank in which you have your credit card in. So I'm just going to click continue right here, and that's about it. So your payment is approved and so on. As you can see here, when you test your application or your website, so this number is going to decline your credit card, this one is going to approve, this one is not going to have 3D secure, and so on, right? Okay, so as you have seen before, our product is 20 euros, but we ordered 10 euro amount of it. So this is because when I edited this button, I didn't click this read only right here. And you can choose for your products to be read only or not. So if you have a read only product, then you only can pay for it 20 bucks, but if you 20 euros. But if you don't have read only clicked, then users can pay whatever they want. So this can be very good for something like donating to our site, donating to our content creator, and so on. So that the users can actually give however much money they want. So something like a tip jar, you can use it for that. But of course, if you just want to sell a product that costs a certain amount of money, then you would click read only right here, save this button, and then we can test our page again. So fondy.localhost, and if we go to very good product, click on it right here, we go to this page, and then as you can see, order amount is 20 euros and it can be changed. We can just add anything right here. I agree and check out. And that's about it. So this is great. This is the way you can quickly add payments to your site if you're not having many products, right? So you would use this if you are selling maybe 2 or 3 products on your site. But if you have a real web shop with maybe hundreds of thousands of products, of course, this would be pretty unruly to handle, right? So it wouldn't be very good. So now I'm going to show you an option how you can use Fondy with WooCommerce. So as you can see right here, Fondy supports a lot of integrations, right? So if you go to the full CMS list, this is all the CMSs that Fondy supports. As you can see, they have Magento, WordPress, Drupal, VirtueMart, OpenCart, and so on. So a lot of integrations. Now, if you go to the WordPress, you will see that that is not all. It doesn't support just WordPress, but it supports WooCommerce, WooCommerce subscriptions, paid membership pro, and restrict content pro. So these are subscriptions modules or plugins for WordPress. Today I'm going to show you how to use it with WooCommerce because I never really actually worked with any other 3 of these. I suppose they are pretty popular. So how do you install Fondy on WooCommerce? So let's quickly actually install WooCommerce first. So I'm just going to go to plugins, add new, and go to WooCommerce. Right, you just click install now. You have to activate it, and then we will go through the setup process. Okay, so I'm in Croatia. We can choose a currency. I'm going to use euros. Okay, let's go. Next, for the payment, I'm just going to click continue, but I'm going to turn off PayPal. We are not going to be needing it. For the shipping method, I'm just going to set a flat rate right here and click continue. Of course, you would have to set up everything for this. So for this step, I'm going to leave storefront theme. We are going to change our theme. I'm going to leave automated taxes and WooCommerce administration, but I'm going to turn off Facebook and MailChimp and click continue. I'm going to skip this step for Jetpack. This is going to be my address. And now we can create a product or import products. So we are actually going to import some products right here if you click it. So to import products, WooCommerce already comes with CVS file for importing products. So to choose that file, you go to your installation. So I go to development, Fondy, WP content, plugins, WooCommerce, and then you have sample data right here, and you choose sample product CSV file. Open that up. And since we don't have any products, this doesn't matter to us. So I'm just going to click continue and import all of the products. Okay, click continue right here, run the importer. Okay, so we imported 25 products. You can view them if you click view products. So these are those. If we go to our site right now, because we changed the theme, as you can see, it looks a little bit different, and you have shop right here. So if I click on it, and as you can see, we are getting post type equals product. We don't want that. We want actually a better permalinks setup. So I'm just going to go to settings, permalinks, and turn on post name, and then save the changes. So if I go right here, go to Fondy test, and then go to shop, as you can see now my permalink is shop. Okay, these are my products. The shop works. Now all we have to do is install Fondy. So as you can imagine, installing Fondy is actually super simple. You just go to plugins, add new, and then you just write Fondy right here. And as you can see, there are all of the integrations that you can have for it. So WooCommerce Payment Gateway, Paid Membership Pro Payment Gateway, Easy Digital. So they have Easy Digital Downloads also, and Restrict Content Pro Payment Gateway. Okay, so I'm going to install this now. So WooCommerce Payment Gateway, and then activate it. Okay, so once this is installed, you can go to settings, WooCommerce settings, right? And then you go to payments, and then as you can see right here, you have Fondy already set up. Of course, you can have multiple payments. So if you want to enable PayPal, you can do that. You can enable check payments, and you can enable Fondy. So I'm going to set this up. First of all, turn it on and then set it up. Now here, I'm going to enable test mode, right? Because we just want to test our shop right now, but for real world situations. So if you sign the contract with Fondy, you can go to the dashboard and click right here, right? So this is not going to be www.testfondy.eu, but some your address. If you click right here, you will get your merchant ID, payment key, and credit private key. Right? So you can put those information right here. So merchant key and merchant secret key. Right? Okay, so you have some other options. You can have a description right here. You can have payment type to be in-store payment page, and built-in form and redirection. This is going to redirect your site to the Fondy's payment page, and this is good if you don't have HTTPS on your site, but if you are running a web shop, you really should have HTTPS installed. So I'm going to leave this to be in-store payment page for now. You can of course set the default return page, which can be shop. You can say you can set up a payment completed order status, which is going to be, so if payment is completed, then we will put it to be in processing. When the payment is expired, you can maybe put that to be cancelled. Well, whatever you want. So if it's declined, you can also put it to cancelled. And that's about it, right? So you have these few options right here, nothing too complicated, and then you just save the changes. Okay, great. Now we should have this payment method enabled on our site. So if I go right here, refresh this page, click add to cart for this beanie, I'm going to view cart, and then go to checkout. right? So it's 18 euros, but our shipping is 10 euros, so the total is 28 euros. Okay, we proceed to checkout. So I'm just going to fill out this data. Okay, and when we click place order, it's going to take us to the our page. So this is a page that is actually inside our site. It's not taking us to some other page. So this is great because the user will stay right here, and then you can insert your card number, right? So one of these is going to work for us, and do something like 0220 and check out 28 euros. Then you would have this bank server emulation. You can click continue, and then it's going to take you to the product page, actually to products page, which we set up in the plugin. Let's test one more option you have here. So you've seen the in-store payment page, but if we want to have full just one page checkout, then we can choose something like built-in form, right? So if I click that, save changes, we go to products again. Let's buy this album, add to cart. Then we can go to the checkout, and as you can see right here, now we have on this page we already have the fields to fill out, so we don't have to go to another page to pay for this product. So I'm just going to paste this in again, and then we can just place the order. Then you of course get that server emulation again, click continue, and we are going to go back to our products page. And there's one more thing that I want to show you with Fondy, which most of the Fondy's competitors do not have. So if we go to WooCommerce and then we go to orders, we can see our orders, but also we can see the order status. And if I click on this order status right here, as you can see, I get all of this information, but also the order notes from Fondy. So you can see that the order status changed from completed to processing, that the Fondy payment was successful, and so on. So you would get these order notes whenever a user purchases something on your site. As you can see, working with Fondy is very easy and pretty straightforward. And as I said before, I may make another video in which I will explain how to use Fondy with your JavaScript applications. So anyway, this has been it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.